Narendra Modi's interaction with the US bipartisan Congressional Delegation led by Michael McCaul. So that's the interaction and visuals of the same that are now coming live. That's the Prime Minister interacting with the members of the US delegation. Remember, they've been in India the last 2 days, and what's been making headlines is the interaction that took place between this delegation and the Dalai Lama in Dharamsala. Let me go across to Abhishek Jha joining us on the phone line. Was this just limited to meet and greet, Abhishek, or was more put on the table perhaps?
The leaders, the head of Foreign Affairs Committee of US House must have shared his experience of meeting with Dalai Lama and the government in exile of Tibet, which is in Dharamshala, and where they had an opportunity to meet the senior designated officials of the Tibetan government in exile, and also they had an opportunity to address and take part in the parliamentary proceedings. There also Nancy Pelosi was also part of that delegation, and now we have seen how the Indian government has also given due importance to the visiting delegation, and we saw yesterday External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had a meeting with the entire delegation, and today also the Foreign Affairs Committee chairman has a meeting with Prime Minister Modi. So that kind of gives a sense of how India sees the entire issue of Tibet. And since this development has come just in the wake of a resolution that has been passed in the US House that seeks to resolve the issue of Tibet and Chinese conflict as soon as possible, and use the influence of the US government on China to make this resolution quicker. So in that context, it is also important that Indian government is also in a way being briefed or taken into confidence by the US House members who have been part of that proceedings and pushing that resolution in the House.
Okay, all right. Now, Abhishek, very interesting. You know, much of the conversation as far as this US delegation's visit to India is concerned has revolved around the interaction that the delegation had with Dalai Lama. And India's stand has also been amply clear, though one has always tried to decode a little bit, take it a little further when it comes to India's position, India's take on the entire Tibet issue. But the messaging from United States has been very clear and in a sense has been reiterated as well. We've heard it from Nancy Pelosi and Mr. McCaul as well. They've all come out to say that we stand with the Dalai Lama and the cause that he's been fighting for.
Well, the US side has been taking side of any and in fact every democratic voice that has been, raising their cause. And this time Tibetans also who have been in a way oppressed by the Chinese regime and their PLA for almost like 8 decades, they have had a cause. They have been asking for their freedom. In fact, they have not been asking for the sovereignty of their land. They have been asking for an autonomous region where the spiritual head of Tibetan, religion will be a guiding force in their day-to-day administration. So that is a setup that they want. In fact, Dalai Lama has also in the recent past has said that they do not want an independence of Tibet. So in that context, the entire political narrative that Chinese side has been building that these Tibetan refugees are a secessionist force is totally falling flat. They have been asking for their own autonomous region under the sovereignty of China. This time also the sense that the Tibetan government in exile expressed was very similar, and this is what the US has also been supporting, that though this is not a secessionist force, it is just a political activism which is seeking their own area, own region based on their ethnic, cultural and historical linkages, and they just want to preserve that. This is what the demand of Tibetan side has been. Indian side has also been, of course, very supportive of that. For almost 7 decades now, Dalai Lama has been living in India. He has been given space and protection under the Indian government also, where he is operating his own spiritual thing, and also the Tibetan government in exile.
India was the first country, Abhishek, in fact, to host its first ever global Buddhism summit, which was inaugurated by the Prime Minister and attended by several senior officials. Whether or not any of that featured in the conversation that the Prime Minister had with some of these members of the US delegation is something we're yet to find out. But thank you for joining us with the latest and breaking that down for our viewers. Heading into a